Everybody, and welcome back to Slowpoke Racing and also the Ultimate Racing League, sponsors by W.GG, the energy drink for gamers, and Eldridge Air Conditioning. Thank you to those guys for helping us out this season. Now we're with the Saturday guys. They do their Saturday Championship in the GR3s. And this week, I believe, is the final week. Now, we haven't got the standings. There's been a few technical issues. So, unfortunately, I've not been able to bring you the league table. So, I do apologise for that. But I'm sure you're here just to watch some great racing anyway. This, as I say, final race. We are over in Italy on the fictional track of the Autodromo Lago Maggiore. I hope I've said that right. And we are on the full circuit. None of this reverse nonsense or short tracks. These guys are going for it on the full track. 3.6 miles, 17 turns ahead of us. So without further messing about, let's crack on. We'll have a look down the grid and we'll get these guys underway, shall we? And Wayne G has put himself on pole position with Stormfly just sitting behind in second. Osman is third on the grid. Fourth is Fitzy. Derg is fifth. Silly Shot 6th. Phaser sitting in 7th with Brian the Mechanic in 8th. Unforgiven is 9th. Rufus 10th. Pete 11th. Ninky is 12th. And Brian Moncani down in 13th. So 13 on the grid, which is a great turnout. So we'll get these guys underway and then we'll have a chat about things like tyres, etc., etc. As we come around the final turn, to go onto the straight, we can hear the klaxon going, and that's the signal for Wayne G to plant his foot hard on that accelerator and get off down that straight towards turn 1. Excuse me. Tricky start to this track actually. Two very tight turns, a left and then a right. Very easy to spin out, so we're going to have a look and make sure that everybody does get through. Oh, as Rufus goes onto the grass, a bit of a door touching section with Peter. But it looks like we've all survived. And Ninky now at the back as Brian Moncani goes through, or Ninky struggles with turn 2, sorry. Head on down now the hill. Sorry, I'm getting it wrong now, aren't I? We're coming up to turn 5, so that was turn 4. Apologies for that. Some very tricky turns on this track. In fact, it's all turns apart from this 800 metre straight, which we are about to come onto now as they go through this kind of chicane section. As Wayne G leads us onto this back straight. As I say, 800 metres. This is where you're going to pick up the slipstream. Try and make the move before you get to this really tricky turn 11. It's a banked hairpin, almost hairpin. But again, oh, great shot that is, just showing you the cars as they come around. Oh, somebody's got themselves all out of shape. Let's have a look, see who that was. It was Unforgiven. Well, let's just have a look and see what happened to him. We're onto the straight. We start on down the hill towards turn 11. He's got Phaser chasing him down, so Phaser may be thinking about making a move. They get it into the turn. Both of them go okay. Phaser takes a tighter turn and then on the exit just comes across and catches Unforgiven, and that sends them both off onto the grass. Unforgiven finally gets himself going and Phaser waiting for him. So that's an unfortunate start for those two. As Ninky now comes on the attack of Phaser. So Phaser really struggling with the trying to get the tyres warmed up, I would imagine, in this opening lap. But back up to the top, and we do seem to have a little group breaking away now. Let's have a look and see if we can find where it is. So it's down to 6. So Silly Shot, the 6 guys out in front. Wayne, Osman, Stormfly, Fitzy, Derg and Silly Shot just starting to open up a bit of a gap. So Brian the Mechanic, who's made his way up into 7th, he's had a great start, hasn't he? He's going to have to do a little bit of catching up. He doesn't want to lose touch of the guys in front of him, as he takes a very wide turn at turn 3 to try and get into turn 4 and then start on down the hill. Great shot that is. Look at the hills in the background. It's such a pity this is not a real track. the scenery is just awesome, isn't it? Brian the mechanic then coming down towards turn 5, just holding off Pete and Rufus just behind him. Then we've got Brian Moncani. He started to make his way through the pack now. Started in 13th, if you remember. And he's now up into 10th, although he's having a good old battle with Unforgiven as they come into the S section at turn 6, 7 and 8. Unforgiven just getting his nose in front of Brian Moncani, who has opted for, he's up the Z4. But Brian Moncani having to drop down into 11th and slot in behind Unforgiven, who's just opened up a bit of a gap actually. So maybe that Corvette, the Nissan, just got a little bit too much. Oh, as Unforgiven goes onto the gravel, that's going to allow Brian Moncani to get up alongside him and maybe even take that place, and he has. So Brian Moncani moves up into 10th after that mistake from Unforgiven, and Unforgiven coming under attack from Phaser again. So these two could have another coming together as Phaser goes through on the inside of Unforgiven. Unforgiven just trying to nurse that GTR around these turns, trying to get those tyres clean after going off onto the gravel. Now they should be okay. So Unforgiven, he's now coming on to the attack. Let's jump on board with Unforgiven. Well, he's already made the move, hasn't he, on Phaser? He's gone up the inside of turn 17, back onto the start-finish straight. And where is he? Phaser, he's still there. So Phaser really getting his foot down, but Unforgiven has got the inside line, but Phaser almost cuts his nose off into turn 2. These two having a proper fight around turn 2, then into 3, and Phaser just getting himself in front of Unforgiven as they come up towards turn 4, and they'll go start on down the hill. Just a quick look behind just to see what's happening, and there's no pressure there. Ninky is the nearest, well, he's in 13th, isn't he, and he's nowhere to be seen as they go down the hill. We'll just stay with these two just for another couple of corners as Unforgiven tries to get that 11th place back off of Phaser, but Phaser doing a fantastic job. And doesn't look like Unforgiven's going to be able to make a move anytime soon. So we're going to go back up and see what's happening with our leader, Wayne G in the Audi. He's not messing about. He is on a mission, but Osman chasing him down in the Genesis. Osman does like that Genesis, doesn't he? Drives it so well. It's quite a handful, that car, but Osman really seems to have tamed it this season and really putting the pressure on Wayne G. Fitzy sitting there in 3rd. He's always up there, isn't he, in the top 5, Fitzy. Very quick driver is Fitzy. Same as Stormfly. Stormfly's always up there in the top 5 as well. In fact, it's quite a surprise to see him sitting in 4th. He's usually out in front, is the Flying Dutchman, and leading the way, but he's not got it all his own way today, has he? Dirk sitting in 5th with Silly Shot just behind him. Dirk opting for, well, he's gone for the Subaru, the BRZ, and there are a lot of reports, so that's quite a handful actually. I think you've got to use the higher gears to come out of the corners, so I've been told. So whereas you'd normally come out in 2nd, you've got to go out in 3rd. Short shifting is the key to that car, apparently. Make it sound like I know what I'm talking about. I don't. It's just what I've picked up, what I've heard. But Dirk doing a good job so far in the BRZ. Then he's in 5th position. Silly Shot in 6th, Brian the mechanic in 7th. Then we've got a bit of a gap then, back to Rufus sitting in 8th with Pete just behind him. Unforgiven in 10th with Brian Moncani chasing him down, and Phaser dropped to 12th and carrying half a second penalty as well, and Ninky down in 13th. So we'll have a quick look at the tyres, shall we, as we are just not far off the halfway mark this first 15-minute race. Wayne G has gone for the soft tyres. I don't know what the rules are on the tyres actually. Oh, it's softs and mediums have got to be used as Osman comes under attack from Fitzy, but Osman on the soft tyres. So Wayne G, Osman, Fitzy all on the soft tyres. In fact, I would imagine most people are going to be running the soft tyres for this first race. Let's just go down and have a look, and oh no, we're not. Brian Moncani has going against the grain, and he's gone for mediums. and so is Ninky, but Ninky really is struggling on them. So he'll be glad to see the back of this race so he can get onto some soft tyres with a bit more grip and hopefully keep himself on the grey stuff. So Ninky and Brian Moncani then are the only ones running the medium tyres, so the next two races are going to be soft tyres for those, so it's going to be good to see what they can do. Oh, it looked like Wayne G was kicking up a little bit of dirt there, but he's still facing the right way, so nothing too dramatic for him. Led from the off as Wayne, and not really come under attack that much. I mean, Osman looks like he's dropped off the pace a little bit. Maybe it's the pressure coming from Fitzy and Stormfly. Osman having to do a bit of defending, which has allowed Wayne G to get away. Fitzy sitting in third. We'll go on board with Fitzy as we go around turn 5 and start the climb up towards turn 6. Then we're entering into the S section then. So turn 6, 7 and 8, like a double chicane, isn't it? And then we do enter into another bit of a chicane section of 9 and 10. Then we're onto the straight, as I said earlier, 800 metre sprint down towards turn 11. Quick look in the mirror and we can see absolutely bugger all because of the post there as Fitzy hard on the brakes to make that turn and not run into the back of Osman. We just look in the mirror actually, there we go, we can just see Stormfly in the rear view mirror of Fitzy's car, still chasing Osman. Stormfly still there, and we can just see Wayne G. So Wayne G, although there's a bit of a gap there, he's not got away. So this race is still open as we come up to the 10-minute mark, so just a little over 5 minutes to go. Fitzy trying to pinch as much of that inside curve as he possibly can to get a great exit out of that final turn at 17. Now having a bit of a look up the inside of Osman as they go into turn 1. So Fitzy really putting the pressure on, but he's coming under a lot of pressure himself from Stormfly. Look, Stormfly is actually trying to get in the back seat of Fitzy's GTR. I think if he leans out the window he could probably open the boot from where he is. He's that close. So Stormfly looks like he wants to get on the podium, doesn't he? So Fitzy has gone from attack mode to defence mode, having to fight off Stormfly, and we know how quick the Flying Dutchman is. He's usually at the front leading, so it's unusual to see him back there in fourth, all the way back there in fourth. But really starting to put the pressure on now is Stormfly, and Fitzy trying to do the same again. He would dearly love to get by Osman and let Osman try and deal with Stormfly, but again, Osman doing a great job of defending. Now they're onto the straight, so let's have a look and see if anybody can make a move before they get down towards turn 11. Doesn't look like they're going to, does it? They're all having to sort of defend against each other, although Stormfly did have a bit of a look, didn't he? Fitzy goes wide, gets onto the grass, but manages to keep it on track. He gets himself back on track and holds off the attack from Stormfly. Let's just drop down and see what's happening elsewhere. Dirk sitting in 5th, he's not that far behind, and like I say, doing a great job in that BRZ. After what I've heard, it's a bit of a handful, but yeah, Dirk seems to be okay with it. Silly Shot in 6th, having a decent race, although he's picked up half a second. It's not going to affect his track position, I don't think. Brian the Mechanic, again, decent first race for him in the BMW. Rufus also in the favoured BMW, seems to be the car of the season. The BMW, Rufus, well, he's as bad as Unforgiven now, he's never out of it. Although Unforgiven has switched, and there he is. Unforgiven has gone with the GTR for this Saturday race. I think he used it on a Sunday as well, which is why he stuck with it on a Saturday. Doesn't look as comfortable in it though as he does in the BMW, so I'm sure it won't be long before he's back in that M6. Pete in the Porsche. Fine looking Porsche as well, some great delivery work gone on there. Bit twitchy as well. Brian Moncani in 11th, and I'm pretty sure that's the Z4 he's in. Again, another very quick driver. Very unusual to see Brian Moncani that far down the field. So maybe he's just getting used to the car. It's not something that he's in all the time, so just getting used to it, getting a good feel for it. So hoping for better things in the next two races from Brian. Fazer down in 12th, unfortunately, with half a second. So race over really for Fazer. He's not really got into this one, has he? He had that bit of a tussle with Unforgiven earlier on, but never really got into it. So again, hoping for better things over the next two races from him. And then Nink down in 13th, still battling away in the Porsche. Big gap though between himself and Fazer, but he'll keep going as we've got a minute and a half to go. And up at the top there has been a change, and apologies we've missed it. Wayne G still out in front. Stormfly has managed to make his way into second. I'm just going to go back just a little bit and see if we, oh there we go, so it wasn't that long, was it? So as they come around turn 14 then, so what's happened to Osman? Did he have a bit of a moment? Fitzy all over the back of him. Oh, now then, there was maybe a little bit of a touch. There was a touch, I believe. Let's we'll try this view, shall we? We're coming down the hill towards the final turn, and Osman on the brakes, Fitzy, well, didn't. So there was that moment then. So Osman punted off, Fitzy slows down to give the place back, I think, and that's what he's done. But what's happened here is it's allowed Stormfly to go through into second. He just said, thank you very much, guys, I'll have a piece of that. Osman into third. Dirk has now moved up into fourth, but it does look like Fitzy's going to fight back and get that place back, although Dirk's still hanging on. Osman seems to be being hunted down by these guys. Dirk is right in the middle of it all now. He's loving this. Dirk is in that Subaru. Fitzy pulls alongside of him. Osman just leading these three as they go down the hill towards turn 5. Fitzy's on the inside, so Dirk, if he wants it, he's got to stay around the outside. He's trying to cut back a bit earlier on the brakes, but I think Fitzy's got the job done. He has, so Fitzy moves up into 4th. Dirk has to drop back down to 5th again, but at least now he is in touch with the guys in front of him. Well, the biggest benefit from all of that shenanigans is Stormfly. So he just said thank you and went through into second. Wayne G has just been allowed now to get away completely after that incident. So this is race wrapped up for Wayne G as we approach the 15th minute. So there you go, the little signals popped up to say we're on the final lap. So Wayne G just coming around turn 14 then, led from the start, and has run a fantastic race. So well done to Wayne G. We're just going to follow him around these final few turns. Into turn 17 he goes down the hill, and he'll be staring at the checkered flag. So fantastic win for Wayne G. Well done to him. Stormfly gets second. That's more like it. That's where we used to see Stormfly up there on the podium. Osman, it looks like Osman's going to come in third as he's still battling with Fitzy, who gets 4th. Dirk gets 5th. Silly Shot crosses the line in 6th with Brian the Mechanic, a good 7th for him. Rufus is going to cross the line in 8th. Unforgiven 9th. Fazer, well, he's made his way up into 10th, so good recovery for Fazer. He's got Brian McCartney in 11th. Ninky's already finished, so it's just Pete to cross the line in 12th. So that was race 1. We're going to be bringing you race 2 very shortly, so please join us for that. I shall catch you soon.